Hey plant peeps, welcome back to Pilar Orchids. I'm Travis and thanks for checking in. Is it okay? Can you see the flower? Phaleanopsis gigantea. First of all, this is the cultivar called Starship and it's finally come into bloom. Amazing scented blooms, although not a super strong scent, but they are scented like in the heat of the afternoon. Yeah, get some close-ups there. And that's not all, because maybe you can see there's another spike actually buried underneath. Let me turn the plant around. Look at those guys. Yeah, buried up underneath. The boss is filming tonight. Thanks, boss. Yeah, so it's taken a couple years since the last bloom, but this was the first spike to bloom, and you can tell it's kind of the water again. Sorry, boss. And this is my grandparents' rug. I inherited it. Sorry, mom and dad. Sorry, grandma and grandpa. I need to have it professionally cleaned. I know. Anyways, keep going. So the Phaleanopsis, for you guys who maybe are new to the channel, this is our most expensive plant that we've ever bought. It was 125 euro, which basically equated to like $125 about 4 years ago when we bought this plant. And the first year it bloomed on this first spike and had like a few flowers on it. And then it hasn't grown a new leaf it didn't grow a new leaf last year. And so I'm a bit concerned about that. However, this year it did grow the 2 new spikes, which are, I don't know how many flowers. I haven't counted them, but it's in full bloom now. Really happy. If you don't know about this cultivar, it's called the Starship. So this is Phaleanopsis gigantea Starship, and that's bred by, well, it's a selfing of that hybrid that was bred by Ossendorfer Orchidean, I believe, here in Germany. And so, yeah, you can get these plants from them. And they are still a little bit expensive, but I tell you, they're worth it. Now, it is a big plant, and it did fall over here. Maybe you remember, if you follow the channel, that it fell off the shelf. And that's how we got this damage here on the leaf right there. And yeah, that wasn't good. But it bounced right back, and now it's blooming. So that's pretty awesome, and we're excited to show you another, maybe a fairly rare bloom. Well, that's where it lives. So actually, really quick, I'll take the camera for a second. Okay, so really quick, this is where we actually grow the plant now in the summertime. By the way, for the record, it's June 23rd. And this is where we grow it, kind of on the shelf in the hallway, which the boss said we got to move the shelf, but it's a little bit in the shadier spot now in the summer, and that's kind of the thing. We've read about this and what we've always followed. In the summertime, give it a little bit of a shadier spot, and then in the winter you can give it a little bit more sun because of its habitat. Anyway, and what's nice about this is because these blooms are like hidden here, like you can see, you don't get the full view. So if you go around the corner and if you come from this side, you get the full display. So that's why it's nice to have this little shelf here. Yeah. And so that's the deal on where we grow it. We water it once a week, by the way. It's in a mix of bark and leca, and it's in a fairly large pot now. It seems to be doing okay, although there's a lot of air down in there. Like, I'm not going to zoom in. Okay, so really quick, back to the orchid room. All right, so this guy. I'm going to turn it around. So now we're going to go over to a Paphiopedilum. And I'll be honest, I looked on YouTube and I couldn't find any other amitums Although I'm not absolutely convinced this is 100% amitum, I'm not sure. I'd like maybe some paph professionals to weigh in. It's kind of hard to display, but it does actually stay up on its own. It is technically an erect inflorescence in that it stands up. Now the plant is bending over and it's really stressful on the plant, so I'll bend it up here. That's why it's nice to have the boss. That's why I asked the boss to film tonight. So, okay, here's the flower on this guy. Now, this is Paphiopedilum amitum, and you know, I was hoping for something a little bit different, actually, where it's gonna bounce all around. I'll try to stabilize it. The boss, she saves the day. See, look at that. How's that on the light? The boss just, honestly, we just literally staked it right now. So that's the nice thing about this particular flower is most of the time we grew it unstaked. We did kind of lean it up on the table as it was like finishing, getting taller. So that way it would be kind of supported. And yeah, we just threw this stake in right now. Quick loop around there. You can see these are fantastic blooms. Now on some of the amitums, like the hood is a bit darker and the petals are a bit wider, closer to the hood, and they kind of like curl down more. Now in the scoring, I've read and seen that like if they touch or they cross, then it's like minus points or something. I don't know. That's a bad thing, supposedly, in these. But for this particular one, I wish they would hang down a little bit more. Just like the colossum, like our other Paphiopedilum, it doesn't hang down like it should. Anyway, it's encouraging that like the second flower is a little bit droopier than the first one. Anyway, it's still a cool bloom. I'm still not 100% convinced that it's a true amitum. I don't know yet. I need to do some more research. Yeah, and it's still a really cool bloom. I'll stop moving it so we can actually get some like pictures of it. Yeah, so a nice flower. Long, you can see that's a pretty long petal length. I'm not going to measure it, but that's probably 6 inches or whatever, right? Like that's the, typical measurement. Anyway, yeah, happy to bloom it. Not much going to say about that. Maybe we'll try hybridizing it just because I think it's cool and it has a lot of potential and it has good genetics. It's a nice bloomer. And I'm hoping it's got a new growth here, so maybe that will hopefully produce some better, more droopier flowers. Good call on the spike, boss. Oh yeah, on this one too. So here you go. Here's the Paphiopedilum parishii and other Paphiopedilum news. If you don't follow the channel, this one, we repotted it in late winter, just like we did last year. And last year, after we repotted it, it bloomed, and it's done the same thing again this year. Now, the problem this year is there are some mites up in there. So I did spray it, and you can see, like, I've been spraying it with Dawn dish soap, like diluted Dawn dish soap. So hopefully this bloom cycle on this plant makes it, because this is my favorite orchid. The bloom on this is my favorite of all the orchids so far that we've been able to bloom here at El Pilar. Yeah, so I hope it's not damaged. It's quite a big plant and it takes a little bit of work, but it's worth it. Just a quick swing around the garden, some other things that are in bloom. This is the Jermaine Vincent. That is this particular Phaleanopsis. And we love this one. It's one of our longtime bloomers here on the channel. Nice and fragrant in the heat of the day. And then right above it is another Phaleanopsis. This one is a first-time bloomer. It is from the flask. It's the only one of this particular hybrid that we have, and we actually lost the name. It's like ancho chili is what I call it, like aloha. So it was sold to us. Here's the tag that I still have from like 3.5 years ago. Aloha crossed with ancho chili. So I don't know what that actually is, but now that the bloom is on, it does sparkle. That's, I think, the thing that the breeders maybe were going for, is the sparkle. So like in the sunlight, it like glitters, which is really cool, actually. Not fragrant. And always in bloom is the Phaleanopsis little sister. By the way, Inza, if you see this, hopefully you've gotten the package. We sent you the keiki from this guy. This is one of our most prolific phals. Amazing, scented, a really nice scent on this guy. Yeah, the boss's pink no ID phal is growing its spike for the summer. And then our no ID paprika, which has basically been in bloom like little sister for the last year, more or less, is yeah, in full bloom right now. So looking really good. Although the red color, this has like this flame where the newest buds at the bottom are like reddish, and then it turns to whitish up at the top, or more yellow. It turns more yellow at the top. And yeah, so it's kind of lost the red color down at the bottom. It's the back of the Paphiopedilum. Yeah, so you can see how we grow it there.